Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be showing... No, I'm just playing, bro. I ain't a fucking loser. What is crack-a-lackin', boys? How are y'all doing, boys? I want y'all to take a good look into your hoodie and see what is goody, aka what is goody, my hoodie. What is good in the hood? So in today's really lit video, I'm going to be going over a really simple guide on pretty much how to get rich quick in the early wipe of Tarkov, right? So obviously Tarkov just wiped not too long ago, just a few days ago. And, you know, it's pretty often where you'll find yourself struggling to, you know, scrape together some change, you know what I mean? You'll be looking in the pockets of the couch and shit, you know what I mean? Looking in the little crevices, hoping you can find a few cents in there. And, man, you're just not finding anything, you know what I mean? The only thing you'll probably find is, you know, like the used condom that the guy your girl is cheating on you with used when he molested her. So, that was a good joke, guys. I really hope you liked that one. Please don't cancel me, okay? Andrew Tate is already locked up. I can't handle anything more. I'm just kidding, guys. So pretty much, the gist of this is honestly just going to interchange. So obviously a lot of people have made this video. I'm pretty much kind of just making the same thing, but I'm going to go a little bit more in depth, just a millimeter more in depth on the topics, right? So pretty much the main items that we're going to want to be focusing on are going to be emotors, bolts, screws, nuts, hoses, and light bulbs. Obviously any tech item or any mechanical item that you find, whether it's 1 slot, 2 slot, whatever, 9 times out of 10 it's going to go for like more than 20k on the flea. Right now hoses are going for like 140k on the flea, or like a little like north of 100k on the flea. Emotors are going for around 50k on the flea. Light bulbs are going for like 30k on the flea. There's also CPU fans, but you're not really going to find much of these here. Obviously there are a lot of computer spawns in the area that we're going to, so you can find them. You can find CPU fans. They go for like 50 to 70k right now, which is very weird, but that's not what we're going to be primarily focusing on. So pretty much we are just running up ollie, right? So we are just heading into ollies. Once you spawn into the map, you're going to want to run into the front right side of the obviously large building, right, of the actual interchange building. That's going to take you into ollies, right, which is this kind of green themed little area. So the right side of this, once you actually enter through the front and you get into ollies, you're going to pretty much just want to dip right to the right, where you're going to find a lot of these shelves. Now these shelves are primarily going to hold like emotors, hoses, and things of that nature, right? You can find a lot of tubes here. You can find a lot of helixes, which do spawn quite frequently. Now early in this loot run I didn't get a whole lot of emotors or hoses or whatever. We got pretty unlucky here. There wasn't a lot of spawns, but this is exactly where we're going to be looking, because this is where most of the stuff spawns. One of my videos there was like literally 3 emotors here that spawned in this like literal 20 feet radius. It was pretty wild. So I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward a little bit just because we don't really get a whole lot. I think we just got like a tube, a helix, and a fucking propane tank. Nothing crazy right now, but obviously later on in this run we do get some pretty good shit. So yeah. So here we actually end up finding a power cord. Power cords also go for about 20 to 30k on the flea. Takes up 2 slots, so it's pretty good. So obviously if you can find power cords, definitely pick those up. Those are definitely worth it. So as you can see, these green shelves, pretty much this entire thing, anything that you would think has items on it, you're going to want to be looking for it, right? So as you can see, we just found screws. Screws go for like 30, 40k right now on the flea, which is pretty crazy, right? And they're very, very common, but they go for a lot. So we're obviously going to want to be taking those at any chance that we can, right? So we find a nice little toolbox here. Make sure that you're always searching for toolboxes. Those have bolts, screws, nuts, whatever, right? They have all of that shit in there. So these little green shelves, like I said, they always normally spawn something decent on it, so always check that. I'm kind of just like aimlessly searching around here, hoping that maybe I missed something. Unfortunately, like I said, we didn't get very lucky on this one, but as you can see, just right where I'm checking, I'm looking like a fucking idiot here, just, you know, searching for scraps. And then this retard just manages to hit 1 shot out of the 8. I was just genuinely fucking flabbergasted at how dog shit this motherfucker was. But anyways, that's besides the point. Not to mention, this motherfucker had a dog tag slot, and that shit was just gone. It just ceased to exist. I don't understand. If it was a player scav, doesn't it normally not have a dog tag on it, right? Like, what the hell is that? Doesn't it normally just, there's just no slot there? So anyways, that's besides the point. So I pretty much just end up walking around, you know, just kind of walking around the rest of the loop here, right? Not really finding much, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, it's not like things don't spawn here. I just got unlucky, but finally we get blessed by the Tarkov loot gods, and we end up finding ourselves a nice little kek tape. Kek tapes do go for around 70k right now, which is very surprising. I think like probably in a week or two they'll drop down to like 30k, but they do sell for a decent amount right now, so obviously take advantage. I ended up running up in this computer room. I didn't really find much. I think I might have found like a CPU fan or two. I'll go ahead and just speed run it for you guys, but I searched all these computers. There was even another computer room after this. Didn't really get much out of it. I was hoping for a GPU or something. Computers aren't always going to drop good shit, I'm not going to lie. We did end up getting a power cord though, so hey, at least we didn't leave with our hands empty, you know what I mean? I do end up getting into a little bit of combat with these other player scavs. Wasted, you know, maybe about 5 minutes doing that. I do end up finding another computer room. As I said, we end up finding some sprats, another manual later, and then I think we do end up getting that CPU fan or whatever. Again, don't be too caught up in these computer rooms. They can drop good shit like GPUs and whatnot, but we're not focusing on that for this video, so let's move on. So I end up moving on. We're pretty much going back around to the part of ollies that we didn't hit, right? So this is going to be the second half of the loot run, pretty much, and then we can just extract pretty fast. So again, just checking these green shelves. What do you know? There's a fucking hose sitting there, just like a, oh, it's just a beautiful Russian vixen model just sitting there with her ass out. It's beautiful, boys, I'm not gonna lie. That was probably the worst analogy I could have made. I'm gonna delete the channel now. But anyways, again, we're just checking these green shells. I'm sure there's probably something I missed here because I was a little bit quick with it, you know what I mean? Fast forward a little bit, I end up reaching this area again, right? But instead of taking a left into the bigger kind of part of ollies, we end up taking a right here. We checked that little toolbox, nothing in it. You know, I was thinking, oh damn, maybe somebody looted this, but come to find out that no, they didn't, right? So we end up taking this room. This room has a nice little toolbox spawn as well, and then it also often spawns some pretty good shit. Find some plexiglass. That's 20k right there, baby. Let's go. Check the toolbox. Nothing huge, but a light bulb, baby. Let's go. We'll take that any day. That's 30k just secured in our pockets, boys. You know what I'm saying? So again, we're checking these little, I don't even know what these are called. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. As you can see, we end up finding another hose. That's another 100k secured in our pockets, boys. Just go ahead and stuff them in there. Again, fast forwarding, you know what I'm saying? It's like a 20-minute run, so, you know, I need to speed it up a little bit. I'm not trying to eat up the time here, but end up finding a nice little duffel bag, and we find some pretty decent shit in there. We find a little survival and some weapon parts that, you know, hey, that'll take us a long way, you know what I'm saying? So that pretty much kind of wraps it up. I pretty much just extract after this. I decided not to risk too much more. I didn't want to, you know, get caught up in any PvP, which is how you kind of want to play it, you know what I mean? You want to play it very safe. So ended up extracting with, you know, a few CPU fans, some keck tapes, right? 2 keck tapes, 2 hoses as well. We didn't actually get out with any e-motors, which I'm a little disappointed for, but hey, it's all right, you know what I mean? So we pretty much just kind of run over to Emercom. Totaling it up at the end, I ended up scoring right around 700k, and this is pretty decent because this was actually a pretty unlucky run. So if you ended up doing this and you got a little bit more lucky, just a tad bit luckier, you would make probably, you know, pretty north of $1 million, you know what I mean? You'd make a lot of fucking money because it's pretty easy, man. It's pretty easy. You can always kind of score some decent loot and not too much time, you know what I mean? It's a pretty simple thing, but hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you suck my dick, and peace. Yeah.